Hello folks, and welcome back to day 2. Here we're going to look at the drums and the bass. But first let's just get this track to its normal size. And now I'm going to need to add 2 tracks because I'm doing drums, which is a virtual instrument, and then I'm doing bass, which is a live audio source. Now, a couple of ways to add tracks from the menu. You could add track, insert a track. You could right-click anywhere in the GUI and you could add a track. This is perhaps the most obvious one though. Just clicking that, you can add a track. But I'm going to show you another way, which is a shortcut. And that is Alt and I for an instrument, and Alt and A for an audio track. So if I just go Alt and I, there's my instrument track, and then if I go Alt and A, there's my audio track. Now I'm just going to enlarge the drum track because we'll be working with this one now. So now if I right click on this little icon here, that brings up my GUI, and let's just try it again. Right, everything is working fine there. But now I've been giving a lot of thought to this song and the way that I want to present it. It's going to be very ambient and very kind of ballady. Is that a word even? But the point is, I've decided I'm not going to have drums at all. I'm going to be using Latin Percussion. Now I have an extra add-on pack with the EZDrummer 2, Latin Percussion. So I'm just going to add the basic. And there, that kit changes completely now. Now I have congas, bongos, and a couple of instruments which are interesting, to say the least. Okay, I've already decided on a groove, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you how I did that. Through the browser, I first of all come down this side to the Latin Percussion kit. You'll notice it opens up a subfolder to the right. I'm going with congas, so click on that one. Here I'm going for a 2-slap groove, going there, and then I just selected the very first one. It's very basic and I'll explain why in a second. So just listening to it on its own, it sounds like this. Right, while we're here, just note that EZDrummer has automatically synced up the tempo there. So it's on 86 BPM, same as our project. That's why it's quite important to make your decision beforehand, get your timing right, and then all the MIDI instruments like EZDrummer will slot in just fine. Now, what I'm going to do, that groove that I selected, I'm just going to click and drag it down to this bottom piece you see, Song Creator, drop it. And look at that, it's loaded up a whole lot of other alternatives which is going to work just fine with that groove that I chose. And it's also split it up into intros. That source file is the one that we've just dragged down. But there's other alternatives here for the verse. And then there's also pre-chorus, chorus. There's even a couple of fills and an ending. So what I'm going to do next is just to drag this original groove out and into the track area here with EZDrummer. I can close out of there and I'm going to just drag that down to the start. And let's just enlarge a little bit. I'm just going to zoom with my mouse. And here it is. If I press play there, and there is our groove. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag just that groove out to the full length of the song. And as we saw, we can just grab it on the end with those double arrows and just keep on dragging till we hit the end of the song there. And let's just press that 0 to get it back to the project size. Now, the reason I do that is that I'm wanting just a very basic drum beat to carry me through while I am adding in my extra instruments, like the bass and the guitars and the other virtual instruments which I'll be using. Now when we come towards the end of the song and just before mixing, I'm going to come back and readdress this track, and there we will add the little extra bits, the choruses, the fills and whatnot. But for now I just want something very basic. Okay, back to normal with these guys. And now we're going to work on the bass track, so I will select it and enlarge that one so we can see it a bit clearer. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come down to that arrow, and I know that my bass guitar is plugged into the right channel of my audio interface, so I'm going to select that, and there it is, just armed and it's ready for recording. Now again, just giving some thought to my arrangement. My bass is only going to be coming in on the first chorus and playing throughout to the end of the song from there. So now what I do, I like to record in sections. So in other words, I'm going to just be recording the chorus first. So I'm going to just zoom it a little bit here. And what I'm going to do is to loop a section which will include a little bit of an introduction into it. So say from about there, click and drag in the timeline here, and a little bit past, and I'll explain why in a moment. And then I'm going to press the looping button. Now what you could also do is loop just that particular section of the chorus, which is from there to there, and then press this punch in, punch out button. So now what will happen here, the song will start playing from here. It'll play through, but at that point the recording will punch in and I can record my bass. Over here it's going to punch out, and it'll just get to the end, come back again and do another take. And it'll do that because I have it set up here for takes. But now I personally don't use this method of punch in and punch out, and I'll tell you why in a reason. I'm just going to get rid of it there. You see, there might be an occasion where I might feel like a bass slide into the first section here. And then also perhaps with an instrument like a guitar where it's got maybe a bit of reverb or delay on the end, you might want that tail to extend a little bit beyond the end of the chorus itself. So anyway, I'm now set up. I have my area looped, and I'm going to hook up my bass guitar and I'm going to play this particular section. Right, so I have my bass hooked up. I've checked the levels on the audio interface, and you can see I have a nice strong signal there in the green. So I'm going to just hit R for record, and let's do a pass.
Oh, how they fill my eyes. All my sorrow set tomorrow. Take me back to my old home. And
Okay, that does it for day 2. Obviously, I'm going to complete the bass line, and that'll be ready for tomorrow, day 3, when we add the guitars. Hope you can join me then. Thank you once again.